Sawadika! Today I'm diving into something I'm incredibly passionate about, the science behind why retreats and strategic breaks in nature aren't just luxury, but potential game changers for metabolic resets. For us women over 40 in perimenopause or menopause, or as I like to call it, why escaping your family and job isn't selfish, it's actually science. You're welcome for the permission slip. This topic is especially meaningful as I prepare for our upcoming September Koh Samui retreat. Many of you know that Koh Samui holds a special place in my heart. It was during a meditation nearly 10 years ago, whilst in Koh Samui, that I came up with my business name, Inner Alchemy. I'm Carly, your metabolic alchemist, and today we're talking about retreats. So put down that third cup of coffee that you're using to power through the day, and let's dive into the fascinating science behind why retreats work for women over 40. Now, let's start with something most of us have never, ever heard of before, the biophilia hypothesis. And this is a concept that suggests that humans have an innate biological need to connect with nature. Yes, unlike our need for Wi-Fi and wine, this one is actually connected to our DNA. What's fascinating about this recent research is that women appear to be particularly responsive to natural environments. Our female brain shows distinctive activation patterns in what we call the limbic system, and that's our emotional regulation center. And when we're exposed to natural settings, versus urban environments, we get a profound change. Picture your limbic system during perimenopause as a toddler having a meltdown in a storefront. Now, imagine how much better that toddler would be if it was at a peaceful beach. In what researchers call the female stress response specificity, women tend to respond to stress not just with fight flight, but with what UCLA scientist Dr. Shelley Taylor calls the tend and befriend pattern. Yes, it's a different pattern mediated by oxytocin and estrogen. So while men might respond to stress by wanting to go and punch a wall, women tend to go and start organizing casserole groups. These hormones are precisely the ones in flux during perimenopause, which may explain why so many women seek restorative natural environments during this transition. Your sudden desire to sell everything and move to a wooded cabin in the forest is not just a midlife crisis. It's actually your hormones making a very, very reasonable request. A 2021 study found that natural light exposure recalibrated our circadian rhythms in perimenopausal years. So that directly improves cortisol patterns, insulin sensitivity, and our inflammatory markers, all crucial for our metabolic health. While all nature is beneficial, research also showed that water environments have a unique effect on our biochemistry. This brings us to what scientists call the blue space effect. And no, unfortunately, your kiddie pool in the backyard doesn't count as a blue zone. Nice try though. But this landmark study actually examined the benefits of coastal environments on stress reduction, finding that proximity to water triggered a 27% greater parasympathetic nervous system response. That's our rest and digest mode, compared to green spaces without any water. I like to think of our parasympathetic system as our body's chill pill, and perimenopausal women need an extra strong pill, don't we? I now look back and think, my body actually was telling me this without me knowing it for the last 20 years when I had this desire to always be near the water. I was near the water in Melbourne, and now I'm near the water in Queensland. And I really feel like this is a huge impact to my own stress levels. What about you guys? Do you live near the water? Do you want to live near the water? come and join me on the Gold Coast. Now, let's get back into some of the research. The University of Exeter's Blue Health Project discovered that when women over 40 spent time in blue space, they experienced reduced inflammatory markers and enhanced thyroid hormone conversion. This also normalized our insulin responses, which is basically science speak for the ocean makes you skinny again. Who knew that the research could be so validating for me? Thanks, research. This is precisely why I chose the Koh Samui Resort in Thailand for our upcoming retreat. Our accommodation at Vakasa is perched on a cliffside overlooking the Gulf of Thailand. You'll be immersed in this healing blue from dawn to dusk, like a hormone spa minus the awkward terry toweling gowns. Now, some studies explored cold water swimming for menopausal symptom relief, finding dramatic improvements, nearly 47% reduction in anxiety, 35% fewer mood swings, and 30% reduction in hot flushes. But just to throw a spanner in the works, I also read some research that cold water can also trigger stress responses and cortisol. And I know personally I hate cold water. So I won't be doing the cold plunges at the retreat. But if you really wanted to, there is a cold plunge there. But you know what? Even warm water immersion provides significant benefits. The combination of negative ions from the ocean air, the rhythmic waves, and the expansive horizon all contribute to what we call soft fascination. Yes, I know. It's that state that restores attention whilst activating creativity and insight. It's like a little mini day spa for your brain cells, and they'll also be wearing bathrobes as well. So, Carly, how long does it take to create meaningful hormonal change through environmental intervention? What's the minimum time, Carly, I need to ditch my family before the magic happens? Well, just to let you know that researchers have identified this and they call it the dose response. So, this is the relationship between nature exposure and hormonal benefits. Short exposure, like a 20-minute walk on the beach or in nature, temporary improves cortisol. And think of that as like a hormonal equivalent of a quick coffee break. A half-day immersion creates a deeper change, more like a Sunday sleep-in, but the most profound shift happens during a multi-day immersion. So what's really fascinating about this 2019 study, it identified what they call as the breakthrough window, beginning around day 3 and peaking at around day 5 to 7 of nature immersion. So this is why long weekends, whilst really lovely, often don't really cut the mustard. And when you get back in the car, you're kind of thinking, I really needed to add an extra 3 or 4 days. Your body is telling you something. You don't need the research. But during this 5 to 7 day window, cortisol patterns normalize, melatonin production synchronizes with the natural light, and your gut microbiome shifts in a positive way. This all helps with a positive gene expression in our metabolic function. So in other words, it takes about 3 days just to undo the stress of modern life, and then another 2 to 4 days for your body to remember, all right, this is what it's supposed to do now. It's like your hormones needed 72-hour break before they can actually have a civilized conversation with each other. So this research directly informs my design of the Koh Samui retreat as our 6-day experience. And yes, that's exactly why I roll my eyes when people suggest a quick getaway on the weekend, because I know you'll be regretting thinking I should have just gone to Carly's retreat instead. So this other piece of research I wanted to tap into was called the Swiss Perimenopause study, and it found that natural environment exposure had stronger effects on hormonal markers in perimenopausal women than in pre- and post-menopausal women, because perimenopause is a time of hormonal plasticity. It's like our hormones are renovating their own house, and we're in the prime time for those unique house designs to be influential. So this Koh Samui retreat is in our peak design window for all those ladies in perimenopause, and it combines 5 evidence-based elements. First, we have that strategic movement that I love to show you, my metabolic exercises. And research shows that combining this different type of movement in natural settings amplifies those hormonal benefits. So those 15 minutes of metabolic exercises are really like bigger bang for buck. Who knew? You'll also experience both morning and evening routines with my yoga classes, meditation, sound healing, and more, all designed for your changing hormones. Second, circadian optimization. Yes, we're going to align with the natural light cycles with all of our meals timed for optimal hormone regulation. That's right. We eat between 9:30 and 6:30 at nighttime. Yes, even my meal times are therapeutic. That's how committed I am to your hormones. Third, nutritional support. Vicasa's Life Cafe is considered probably the healthiest cafe in Thailand and offers specially curated organic meals, which you are going to really want to enjoy. And unlike that clean eating cookbook that's sitting on your shelf, these meals are actually going to be inspiring. Fourth, stress reduction, daily meditation, breath work, bushwalks, beach walks, ocean swims, and why not the optional spa treatment thrown in? Yes, these are all going to directly address the stress components of our metabolic dysfunction. Sorry, what was that? Oh, you haven't had 2 hours of uninterrupted me time since 1976? I rest my case. Fifth, community. And I mean community and real connection. Research shows that positive social connections reduce inflammatory markers, and that all helps to improve your hormone balance. There's something magical about sitting around the pool or the ocean or going for a walk in nature with women who just get it. That community is what it's all about. And I can't wait to share it with as many of you as possible. So all of these elements together create a synergistic effect, far more powerful than any intervention that you're currently doing. Like your morning meditation at home might be interrupted by kids, dogs, and your partner's asking where the peanut butter is. But on retreat, the only interruption you're going to experience is probably from a tropical bird or me dinging the bell when it's time to come out. Ding! So the science is clear. These strategic retreats aren't luxuries, ladies, but powerful interventions for your metabolic and hormonal health. That urge to escape isn't just you being selfish, it's you tending to your body and your biochemical memo. And if you've been struggling with weight loss resistance, sleep issues, or other perimenopausal symptoms, despite doing everything right, a strategic reset might be exactly what your body needs. Sometimes the missing ingredients isn't another supplement or workout. It's actually a complete interruption in the right environment. So our Koh Samui retreat runs from September the 7th to the 13th before school holidays, meaning you can get back just in time to re-stress. And it's at Vikasa Resort in Koh Samui with our own cliffside ocean views. We offer accommodation options from luxurious ocean to beachside cabanas, daily activities, nutritious meals, and the optional day spa that you can plug in, which is all there to be booked at the resort. If you're interested in joining us, head to the link in the show notes. We only have a few rooms left, so make sure you jump in and get them. They're filling up quickly. Until next time, this is Carly Gallagher, your metabolic alchemist, reminding you that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for weight loss is maybe book a trip to Koh Samui. Thanks, guys. I'll speak to you in the next episode. And that's a wrap. Phew. If something clicked for you today, I've got all the links to my favourite products, supplements, and exactly where to buy them waiting for you in the show notes. No hunting required. Want more personalised support? I totally get it. This journey can be overwhelming when you're doing it all on your own. Whether you're ready to jump into my one-on-one coaching programs or test it out first in my online metabolic flash course, I've got your back. Just head to the show notes for the links to those pages or my website, inner-alchemy.com.au, and let's turn those frustrating symptoms into your comeback story. Because honestly, the best version of you isn't in your past. She's waiting on the other side of these new rules. Until next time, remember, work smarter, not harder. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next episode.